It is National Cappuccino Day, and I want to tell you, cappuccinos were first introduced in Italy. The drink was named after the Capuchin friars because the color of the drink matched their robes. Traditionally, they're made with espresso, heated milk, and milk foam. But, you know, these days there are so many different flavors you can put in your cappuccino, whether you like the classic version, a flavored cappuccino. It all starts with good espresso. Chris Johnson is here with us this morning to show us how it's done. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I love the fact. Can we just keep you here all the time and just have an espresso bar here in the QC studio all the time?
Yeah, I can consider that. Yeah.
For folks not familiar, tell us a little bit about Drip Joint and what you guys do.
So we started off actually as a street vendor. We were working with the Center City Partners. We were right there in front of McCormick and Schmick's. So we did that for a while, and then we just kind of transitioned during COVID and everything to doing a catering model. So that's where we are today. We do private events, weddings, things like that.
So someone can have you roll up with this.
Yes.
Okay, very cool. So let's talk cappuccino. Why is it so different than other drinks that you get, you know, from a barista?
Well, you know, what I always ask people is, you know, what do you like? Do you like strong coffee? Do you like flavored coffee? So that's really going to depend on what you want to drink, right? If you want a little bit stronger, a little bit less milk, I would recommend a cappuccino. If you like a little more milk, a little more flavor perhaps, that's when you get into the flavored latte territory.
There you go. Now you know. So let's get to the strong stuff, right?
Yes, yes.
So where do you start in making a cappuccino?
So I'm going to orient this towards, you know, the home a little bit.
Okay.
So first we'll start with
you don't have to have the big machine to do this, is what you're saying.
It would be nice, but you know, not everybody can have that.
I get it.
So I would recommend having a storage vessel for your coffee, maybe that has a vacuum seal. Because air is the enemy.
Get out of here, air. No, we love air. Just not in our cappuccino beans, right?
We like it, they don't.
Yes.
So we also want to use a scale if we want to be precise. So we'll do 20 grams of coffee here.
Right. And that's so you know exactly how much you're putting in there.
You know, you don't have to be as exact as I am, but I like to be exact. So now we'll go over, we'll grind these.
And at home, you can just use a traditional kind of hand grinder, right?
So, you know, actually you can have pre-ground if you'd like. With an espresso machine, you really want the grinds to be very, very fine. So you really do need a burr grinder as well. And they do tend to get a little pricey, so.
Okay, so but at home though, if it's pre-ground, that's okay.
It's okay, but if you're gonna.
Look at that. You've got all the fancy tools.
Yes.
All right.
So we'll connect it here. And we're just gonna do so we have 20 grams of coffee, so we want to look for 40 grams of espresso.
Okay.
And we want to look for an extraction period between 15 and 25 seconds.
It's so calculated.
Yes.
So this is kind of one of the harder drinks that baristas make, right?
Well, you know, if you're doing it right, you know, you're starting with the espresso. So you really want to focus on that and make sure that you're doing a good job with that.
Okay.
And so that's why a lot of times you'll see these kinds of setups where they're measuring everything perfectly.
Yeah.
Now you can see I'm not perfect here.
But close, 41.9 is what it says right there.
As long as you're close in the window, yes, then you're doing good.
All right, so the key is in the espresso first.
We'll put our coffee in the cup here.
Got it.
Next, we want to steam the milk. You want to have fresh milk, you know, a nice local milk, anything that you like to drink.
Okay.
That's what I would recommend.
We're just under 2 minutes here. And so when you're waiting for a drink from someone like you or at, you know, at a coffee shop, this is why we're waiting. It's a process.
Yes, that's right. That's right. Now we're going to do the loud part. So we just want to steam that milk.
It's not too loud. It sounds refreshing.
So I'm touching the cup right now, and that's how I know the temperature.
Okay.
You don't want to go over 145 degrees.
Oh, wow.
Because it'll just start to taste cooked, and you know, you don't like that.
Okay.
So we're going to knock out some of these bigger bubbles.
Now, cappuccino ratio is important, right?
Yes, so we have a 1 to 1 to 1. So we have espresso, steamed milk, and the foam.
So just about as much steamed milk as you're putting in cappuccino.
Yes, but you know, I can also show you a variation of that, which would be a flat white. So you don't have to worry about latte art when you're first starting out.
Yeah.
Really, you just want to get the flavor down first.
Okay.
So here, we're not going to worry about the latte art. We're just going to throw it in.
We're just
and
worried
if you
about
do this.
Look at that. It's got its own little art, I know.
Yeah, this is a bit of a circle, so that's what the flat white is.
Okay.
And there we go.
And we're ready. Can I take it?
Yes, yes.
Okay, here we go.
Could be a little hot, so be careful.
It smells
So we're using Jack's Head Coffee today.
Okay.
It's from El Salvador. It's a local brand. It's Andres who owns it, and he actually has his family has farms in El Salvador, so he sources it, brings it here, roasts it here. You can find it at specialty markets.
That's neat. This is delicious. And I was reading up that if you do, and I can't remember what it is, so you tell me, you can make it too bitter. What is it that causes an espresso to be too bitter?
So one thing I would say is the reason we're measuring everything is you don't want to over-extract. So sometimes over-extraction can cause that.
Okay.
So that last kind of third of the beans, you want to leave that in there. You know, you only want to extract the best part.
So at home, if you're doing it, you can use pre-ground or grind it yourself. You can steam your milk.
Yes.
I guess on the stovetop or that sort of thing, and then blend it together.
There's a wide variety of ways you can do that. Yes.
Look at that. Thank you so much for letting us know. I want to put Drip Joint Coffee's information on your screen. You can follow along on their website, their Instagram, or their Facebook page. Chris, we appreciate you being here. I know we got this nice, beautiful art behind us as well.
Yes.
You said that's a whole other thing, so we'll have to do that another time.
Absolutely, absolutely.
All right, Kristen, over to you.
Yeah, and make sure you get that QC Kitchen app too. We'll put this segment right on it. Thank you both. I feel like I learned so much. That was great.
Cheers.